Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Turkish with me. We've just beaten Leeds 4-1 at the Emirates Stadium. Turkish, we're getting closer. 9 games to go. Today's performance, happy with how the boys came out and got the job done?
Yeah, it's business as usual.
Yeah.
I mean, I was confident against Leeds. They have a few injuries as well, but regardless of that, I think, our squad speaks for itself this season. We're top of the league because we've been the best team in the league. And when teams like Leeds come to your home ground, you dispose of them like we did today. They had a few chances.
Yep.
Ramsdale made a few saves before we went 1-0 up. Big up Ramsdale because he's made key saves across the whole season. I don't think none of the saves today was anything to be worried about too much, but he still had to get his hands on them. Aside from that, Jesus, big couple of goals for him. I really wanted him to get off the mark, and he did with his penalty. Obviously, the second goal was a bit of a better work move, but he won the penalty as well with a bit of skill, and that can be the difference against teams like Leeds or teams that come and set up with a low block and try to stifle you and put 9-10 man behind the ball. Yeah. Jesus is a player that can make a difference in scenarios like that. So I'm over the moon for Jesus. I think he needed that before the Anfield trip. Yeah. Does
this send a message to the league, or is this just a standard win?
I think we've been sending messages across the league for the majority of the season. Cool. Does this necessarily send a message? I'm not too sure, but what it does do is extend the gap to Man City again. Yeah. I had high hopes that Liverpool would take something from that game. In the end, it wasn't to be, and they closed the gap to 5 points. And we just had to get our job done. That's not me necessarily looking at Man City too much, because it is in our hands. We are 8 points clear now. Man City had the game in hand, but it is in our hands. So I focus on us first and foremost, but I'd love Manchester City to drop points in another game leading up to the game between us at the Etihad, if I'm honest. But not necessarily send a message, but everyone's watching us as it is. We don't need to send no more messages.
Yeah, it is in our hands, a phrase that was used a lot last season. Is there a difference between that and one hand on the title for you?
Yeah, you can't say there's one hand on the title yet. Because a draw at Anfield and a loss at Etihad, they go above us on goal difference. Yeah. I wouldn't say that's crumbling. I wouldn't say that's letting it slip. That could potentially happen, and that's the fine lines between us getting over the line and winning the league, and getting caught by Man City and allowing them back into it. It's still very close. I know it's only 9 games to go, and when you hear the number 9, you think, we're there. Yeah, but it's 27 points up for grabs. So when you hear the amount of points up for grabs, then we're far from there yet. And Anfield's going to be a big test. It will be. Anfield's because Liverpool. They're not the Liverpool we know of recent years, but it's their. Now I haven't looked into the stats, but I believe it's their away form that's let them down this season. Anfield is still Anfield. Yeah. I don't think they've lost many games there this season. Obviously, the Real Madrid one sticks out. But when I'm talking about the Premier League, I think their home form has been up there with our home form and Manchester City's home form. Like I said, I haven't checked the stats, so if I am wrong, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure it's their away form that, puts them lower down the league table. So we can't look at Liverpool and what they are this season and think, we're going to do it.
I hear that.
I think we can do it.
Yep.
We can do it, but it's going to be a much more difficult game than this one today.
100%. Let me end with just what you were most impressed with from Arsenal today in today's performance.
Most impressed with Arsenal today?
Like, so the goal difference being, I know it's still the same. There was that, the performance from the boys. Xhaka, there was Jesus back.
It's just a maturity, but it's not just today I've seen that. It's all season. I mean, whether City win their game and close the gap, or whether City lose their game and it's a chance for us to extend the gap, I started this interview business as usual, and that's how it comes across. International breaks come and gone. We went into international break on top form. We were still switched on, business as usual. So I think it's the maturity that the team's showing now. That's probably the biggest thing that's impressed me. Again, it's a match where if you ask me man of the match, it could go to different players. Yeah. And again, that speaks volumes for how far this team's come. So that's definitely the biggest positive for me. Everyone's putting in a shift in, everyone's working hard, everyone seems mature in how they're manoeuvring through this title race. Yeah. Business as usual.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.